Hi, I'm Ellie McCloy from France. For Euros 2025, we were fully financially supported.
Hello, I am Marcos from Spain. For the 2025 European Championship, we were fully financially supported.
Hi, I'm Ellie McCloy and I race for Great Britain. This year I spent £1,300 to race in Poland at the European Championships. So this year, me and two others from the GB team were invited down to Hoska in France for the World Ocean Series. It was a great weekend. We came away with loads of prize money, which is really, really rare in the sport. I think it's the most prize money that's ever been on offer. So I think between the three of us, we came away with like £2,000. So we were like so happy with it. And kind of later that evening, we found out the budget for our European trip to Poland had just come out. A bit shocked to find out it was £1,300 it would cost us. So we had to kind of seriously sit down and think, can we actually afford this? Like, are we actually going to go and race in Poland? All of this prize money we've just won is like straight down the drain on the trip. So we thought, you know, we've made a big profit here. We've made enough to cover our flights and our accommodation and maybe a little bit more just to go towards, you know, all these extra cost entries. But there we are straight away, just gone on the trip to Poland. Oh my god. So first session of the morning done. So I haven't got long now to get ready for work. So quick shower, bit of breakfast, coffee, and then off to work. I will do. So I work as a doctor in the NHS, a foundation doctor. At the moment, I'm working in the diabetes and endocrine department. My normal day job is 9 till 5. So my week every week isn't always the same. It's not always just Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. So like last week, I was Monday to Friday for 3 days, then I had a rest day, and then I was in nights the rest of the week. So that's 8 p.m. till 8 a.m. So today I've just got a normal day on the ward, so it should be good, should be nice and easy. And then kayak club tonight. Yeah, so that's work done for the day. We actually finished on time today, which is not always the case. So I'm off the river now for kayak club. It can be really tiring training after a full day of work, but when we finish on time and it's light, I don't mind going, but over winter it's been really hard. We're going to do 3 upstream, 3 downstream, 3 upstream, 3 downstream, so we all kind of stay as a group. It's just been cancelled.
Yeah, like the one that was promoted in that final.
Why surf lifesaving? It is a great question, and I find it really hard to put into words what it actually means to me. Like it's just a feeling. It genuinely, it's something that I'm just so passionate about, and it's the most incredible sport ever. We've got, you know, to be able to go in the ocean before work and train and watch a stunning sunrise and get a really hard session with your mates, and the variety of then, you know, training in the swimming pool, running, kayaking, ball paddling, all these different things. And I think it makes you just all round such a great athlete, a really fit, strong person. Surf lifesaving costs a lot of money, and we don't get paid to do it. There's very, very minimal prize money. The craft we paddle costs thousands of pounds. The competitions we go on cost thousands of pounds. We race every weekend in the UK, and we have to cover fuel costs, accommodation, all these little hidden costs of entries. It's very, very expensive. The sport has given me so many amazing opportunities, being able to race and train abroad all across Europe and Australia and New Zealand. I've made lifelong friends. I've learned lifelong skills. You've got all these different disciplines and different conditions. So every time you race, the ocean's different, the weather's different, it's always changing. We race in surf, which means the races are so exciting and you never know who's going to win until you cross the line. You don't really get that in other sports. If I had all the money in the world, my absolute dream job would be to be a full-time athlete, full-time Ironwoman. In fact, I was almost thinking about having a year out of work next year just to be a full-time athlete. I sat down, did a little spreadsheet of all the numbers, and it's just not financially viable for me. And in this career, I just need to get on with it, really. Like, unfortunately, I can't make a living out of being a full-time athlete, so I need to just get on with my career, but it would be my absolute dream. In the near future, realistically, I'm going to have to start focusing a little bit more on my job, which is a really kind of tough thing to face, maybe not being in the teams anymore and not doing the sport like I used to, because it's kind of been my whole identity for like the past however long I can remember. But I need to finish my foundation training, so that's 2 years of general rotations around the hospital, and then I am actually looking at maybe doing some work abroad, maybe in Australia or New Zealand, just to let myself do a little bit of training and a little bit of work to have a bit more of a balance, because I'm not fully ready to give up the sport yet. But looking a bit more long term, there's going to become a point where I'm going to have to put the sport to a side and focus on my career. So there's very few opportunities in the UK to win prize money. I think there's actually only 2 events, Super 6 and Ocean Perth UK, where there's some money on the line. And this is only made possible by the individual organisers kind of searching for local sponsors and things like that to put some money in the pot for us, not by the governing body. But hopefully this year Surf Lifesaving GB are actually helping organise the UK Surf Series, so I'm really hoping there'll be a bit more kind of opportunity for prize money this year to help us all out.
This year we're going to be running the first ever Surf Lifesaving GB Surf Series here in the UK. This is the first one, and obviously, as you know, we held the World Ocean Series in the UK for the first time last year, and we're building off the success of that and Ocean Perth and the Super 6, which are fantastic standalone events anyway. By bringing them all together, we can then have a point system running through the series that enables us to show which athletes are performing in different disciplines and overall, and keep coverage of that going so that we engage the public and they want to follow their success through the season. So we'll be looking for national sponsors to sponsor the whole series. We'll be looking for local sponsors to sponsor individual events and support with things like prize money and freebies and giveaways. I think Surf Lifesaving has a huge amount to give around physical fitness, but also mental health and well-being. It's incredible for bringing generations together. So you see young people from 5 right up to 95 training together on the beach and supporting each other. All of those messages are the kind of thing that's going to bring the public in and want more people will want to sign up and get involved. And then from that, we can find the really amazing talent and put them on a talent pathway and take them all the way through to international competition. It'll be really exciting if it gets into the Olympic Games at Brisbane 2032. I think that will help raise the public profile and potentially encourage people like Sport England to look more seriously at the sport and consider putting public money into it. Right now that we've got drones and mobile phones filming, it's actually getting easier to get really good footage of surf lifesaving and show the drama and bring the audience into that experience. But 20 years ago, that was pretty difficult, whereas you can go and sit in the stadium and watch a football match, you couldn't necessarily see what was going on stood on the beach when people are competing out behind the waves. I think we've also grown up as a sport focused on saving lives, which is as it should be, but it means that when we're looking for public profile, when we get coverage on the news, it's often about that, a rescue has occurred rather than somebody's been competing in international competition and done really well. So although that's a huge benefit of the sport, that we're about saving lives as well as competing, it also muddies the message, as it's not considered a mass participation sport yet. Hopefully it will be in the future. Even though we have 11,000 members around the country, and in other countries like Australia and South Africa, it's huge. here, most people you speak to, especially if they don't live on the coast, won't necessarily know what surf lifesaving is, right? So with that low awareness comes a lack of public pressure to encourage people to fund it and to treat the athletes in a professional way.
Awesome. I think that's about it. I think that's good.
Okay, cool.